My sister-in-law Madison stood in my kitchen, holding my newborn like she owned him. Her voice, coated in manipulative simper, oozed fake compassion as she said, "Maybe it's fate he stays with me." My grip tightened on the recording app, catching every word. Just weeks ago, she was our savior. Now she's trying to erase me. Cornered animals are dangerous, and I'm done being cornered. I remember when Madison first offered to be our surrogate. She placed her hand on mine during a quiet brunch, her voice lined with syrupy resolve. "You too deserve a miracle," she whispered, her manipulative simper hidden beneath warm tones. I believed her, especially as my recording app blinked silently beside my coffee mug. Back then, she was my hero. Now I wonder if she had planned this all along, using love as a mask. The day she moved into our guest room, Madison brought a box labeled Nursery Dreams. Inside were tiny onesies, lullabies on vinyl, and a printed quote, "Family means forever." I smiled, touched, until I caught a flicker of her manipulative simper when she unpacked the baby monitor herself. Liam joked it was her nesting instinct. But that recording app, tucked in the shelf, caught her hum that sounded more like a claim than comfort. Madison started rearranging the nursery without asking, changing the paint, replacing the mobile, labeling drawers Mommy's things. I froze when I saw her handwriting. "I just want to help," she said, her manipulative simper curling at the corners. Liam brushed it off, saying she was just excited. But when I played back the recording that night, I caught her whisper, "My baby, my rules." My chest clenched. This wasn't help, it was invasion. And yet, no one else seemed alarmed. Was I the only one seeing what she really was? Madison began referring to my son as our little guy during her prenatal appointments, never your baby. Even the nurse looked confused once. "Hormones," Madison laughed, tossing her hair with that same manipulative simper. But it wasn't hormones, it was calculation. I caught her deleting a voicemail from the hospital confirming I was the legal mother. The recording app saved the sound of her lie. "No need to bother her, I'll handle it." My stomach twisted. If she could erase my voice once, what else could she silence? 3 days after I brought my son home, Madison showed up unannounced, with a lawyer. "Just ensuring his welfare," she said, her manipulative simper stretched thin across her face. Liam looked stunned, stammering about misunderstandings. I hit record discreetly. She claimed I was emotionally unfit, citing postpartum fog and marital instability. The CPS officer glanced at Liam, whose career had already been smeared by Madison's quiet campaign. This wasn't concern, it was conquest. I clutched my phone tighter. I had proof now. But would anyone believe me before it was too late? The courtroom was dead silent as I played the recording, Madison's voice dripping with her usual manipulative simper. "If she breaks down, I'll keep him." She won't fight back. Liam sat beside me, pale but steady. His name had been dragged through mud, but now he was witnessing our truth unravel. Madison lunged for the phone, screaming it was fake, but the judge's glare stopped her. My hands shook, not with fear, but with fury and clarity. She hadn't just tried to steal my child, she'd tried to erase my life. But she underestimated one thing. I was recording everything. I thought Madison would retreat after court, but she doubled down. That night, my son's birth certificate vanished from our safe. The lock wasn't broken, only the code changed. I found the recording app on Liam's old phone blinking. She'd been in the house. Her manipulative simper echoed in the clip. "If I can't win in court, I'll win in blood." My breath caught. This wasn't just legal, it was war. Liam grabbed the footage and whispered, "It's time we fight on her level." That was the night we stopped reacting and started hunting for her weak spots. Liam tracked Madison's messages through a forgotten iCloud account. What we found shattered me. She had been paying a therapist to write fake evaluations labeling me unstable. Even worse, she'd convinced his office to log visits I never attended. The recording app captured her whispering to a friend, "Once CPS sees those files, she's done." That manipulative simper clung to every syllable. But this time we had more than fear, we had documentation. I stared at the screen, trembling. This wasn't a sister helping. This was a predator staging collapse. And we were done playing polite. We forwarded everything to the CPS ombudsman, but the response stunned us. Files already under review. Madison had reported us, first. She'd filed a complaint 2 weeks earlier, backed by doctored medical reports. "Your sister-in-law is claiming primary custody," the officer added, her tone unsure. I pressed play on the app again. Madison's manipulative simper surfaced in a call to her lawyer. "If I get custody first, they'll have to prove I'm unfit." My blood ran cold. She'd anticipated our every move. But that's when I realized she left digital footprints everywhere. All I needed to do was follow. Liam traced Madison's legal maneuvers to a judge with suspicious ties, her college roommate. Suddenly, our motions kept getting lost, hearings rescheduled last minute. My hands trembled as I played the recording of Madison's call. "She'll stall long enough for me to file emergency guardianship." That manipulative simper had never sounded so venomous. We rushed to file a motion for judicial reassignment with the audio clip as evidence. For the first time, the system blinked. Clerk leaned over and whispered, "Get a lawyer now." It wasn't just about family anymore. It was about corruption. Just as we secured the new judge, a video surfaced, Liam screaming at a nurse, going viral. Madison had edited old hospital footage. "Abusive father," headlines blared. Sponsors dropped him overnight. I nearly collapsed until I recognized the original clip's background, a different hospital logo. I pulled up the uncut version from our archives and synced it with the app's time-stamped audio. Madison's manipulative simper had even made it in off-screen. Push him harder, let's get this recorded. The smear job was brutal, but now so was our proof. She'd weaponized media. We would weaponize the truth. Our lawyer filed a defamation suit, attaching the raw footage and recordings. While we waited, Madison held a press conference, posing beside our son, calling herself his real emotional mother. Her manipulative simper gleamed through crocodile tears. Viewers were split. Some praised her sacrifice, others questioned her timing. But during that live stream, her mic stayed hot. "Tween takes," she muttered, "they'll eat up any victim story if you sell it right." That clip went viral. Overnight, the narrative flipped. Public sympathy shifted. Comments flooded in. Who lets a surrogate do interviews without consent? The tide finally was turning. With the court date nearing, Madison made one last move. She claimed Liam coerced her into surrogacy. Suddenly, it was about consent. The hospital denied it, but she brought forward an email chain supposedly proving her reluctance. My breath caught until Liam pulled up an old backup. His messages to her were clear: only if you truly want this. The recording app had captured her reply: "I'm honored. He'll be our legacy." Her manipulative simper didn't just show, it cracked. Her lies weren't consistent anymore. We didn't just have holes, we had the whole unraveling thread. The final hearing began with a bombshell. Madison's own therapist testified under subpoena. She asked me to write false diagnoses. I refused. The courtroom froze. Madison scoffed, her manipulative simper flickering as she denied everything. But our lawyer tapped the mic. "Exhibit B," she said. The recording app played, Madison's voice calm and crisp, just right that she's unstable. "I'll handle the fallout." Her face turned gray. The judge leaned back, eyes narrowing. "That's enough for a criminal referral." That moment, I felt the scales shift. The predator was now exposed, and cornered animals are dangerous, but so are mothers protecting their child. Just when I thought she was finally finished, Madison handed the judge a new envelope. "One last truth," she said. Inside were DNA results. My heart stopped. "You're not the biological mother," she announced triumphantly. Gasps echoed. I went numb until the judge frowned. This test was tampered. Our lawyer smiled faintly. We had anticipated this too. A separate lab had confirmed earlier. The test was swapped. The recording app had caught her arranging the fake kit. "If I can't win, I'll destroy her," she'd hissed. Her manipulative simper was gone now, replaced by panic. And for the first time, she looked afraid. As the judge prepared closing remarks, a new CPS agent entered, one Madison hadn't bribed. "I reviewed all hidden files," she said, holding up a flash drive. "And we recovered the original hospital logs and surveillance." The screen lit up with unedited footage, me signing maternal forms, nurses calling me mom. Madison's manipulative simper vanished entirely as the agent read her summary. This was a calculated identity theft attempt. Gasps rippled. Liam reached for my hand, his grip solid. We weren't just defending ourselves anymore, we were exposing a crime. And with every second of tape, justice sharpened its blade. Madison's attorney tried a desperate pivot, blaming postpartum delusion. She believed the child was hers, he claimed. But the judge had heard enough. Delusion doesn't explain forged emails, altered medical files, or false media campaigns. I watched Madison squirm, her manipulative simper reduced to a twitch. Then came the final blow. The judge admitted the recording app as an official chain of evidence. "Systematic, intentional, and malicious," he declared. For once, no twist followed, only consequence. The room held its breath as Madison's custody petition was denied. Permanently. It was the first time I'd exhaled in months. Inside the courtroom, reporters swarmed. Cameras caught Madison shielding her face, but not before one lens zoomed in. Her lips curled again in that fading manipulative simper. "You'll regret this," she muttered. But this time, I didn't flinch. I raised my phone, replayed her threat aloud for everyone to hear. "Let the world decide," I said. Public outrage erupted. Sponsors offered to reinstate Liam's contracts. Mothers online rallied, calling it the motherhood smear war. In their comments, I wasn't a victim, I was the line that wouldn't break. The game was over. And Madison? She finally knew it. A week later, Madison's face appeared on the local news again, but this time in a mugshot. Fraud, perjury, obstruction. I stared at the screen as the anchor read, evidence provided by the victim's personal recordings. That phrase, "the victim," didn't sting. Felt earned. The manipulative simper I once feared had become her downfall. She was led from her home in cuffs, neighbors staring, whispers rising. Liam watched silently beside me, then said, "Cornered animals are dangerous." But we weren't the ones snarling. No more hiding. No more running. Truth was finally louder than her lies. We returned home to find a letter slid under our door, from Madison's former lawyer. "I resign. I was deceived." Attached was an affidavit, admitting his knowledge of falsified documents and Madison's threats. It was overkill, her legal credibility shattered, but symbolic. Her last ally had abandoned her. The manipulative simper? Dead in the water. I held my son close as Liam filed the affidavit. Across the room, our CPS caseworker smiled. Sometimes evil implodes from its own lies. And it had. Not with vengeance, but with light. Truth, recorded, relentless, had become our sword. And we had swung it well. I sat in the nursery, sunlight warming the crib Madison once decorated. My hand trembled as I replayed the final recording. Her threat, her downfall, her silence. The app, once just backup, had become my shield. I whispered to my son, no one will ever erase us again. Liam stepped in quietly, placing the reinstatement letter from his firm beside me. Truth didn't just save us, it rebuilt us. And I knew now, justice doesn't shout. It records. I visited the hospital alone, returning to the room where it all began. Nurses recognized me now, not as that confused mother but as the one who fought back. I left a copy of the court ruling in the donation box with a note, for the next woman doubted. The recording app felt heavier in my pocket, less a weapon now, more a reminder. I had once whispered my doubts into it. Now I walked out with no more whispers, only resolve. Liam stood beside the rebuilt nursery shelf, holding the award from his reinstated design firm. For resilience in adversity, it read. Kissed our son, then turned to me. You made this possible. I shook my head, tears brimming. We did. The recording app sat framed beside it all, our silent witness, our unflinching proof. Madison's manipulative simper had tried to bury us in shadows. But we fought with light. And the only voice that mattered now was ours, recorded and real. Madison was sentenced to 18 months probation, barred from any contact. Courtroom didn't clap, but online, thousands of mothers did. Her manipulative simper, once a smokescreen, was now a meme caption for deceit. Liam's defamation case opened the same week, backed by the evidence she herself had spoken into existence. The judge glanced at me during closing remarks and said, persistence protects. And it did. The app that once recorded fear now archived our vindication, bite by bite. We hosted a small gathering, friends, co-workers, even our CPS officer, all in one room. No cameras, no press. Just healing. Liam toasted to truth, and to women who never stop recording it. I placed the app beside the baby monitor, not to catch lies, but to mark new beginnings. Madison's manipulative simper no longer haunted us. It had become a cautionary echo. Our home wasn't just safe, it was sovereign. And for the first time, our son slept under peace, not pretense. Months later, I started a blog, Mother Recorded, sharing our journey, the legal steps, the red flags. Messages poured in from women with similar wounds. Some scared, some silenced. But many ready to fight. I ended each post with the phrase, cornered animals are dangerous, but mothers? Unstoppable. The recording app became our symbol, etched in the logo, archived in every article. Madison tried to rewrite my story. Instead, she became a footnote in mine. One I documented every breath, every word.